Hello friends, looking at current affairs for 25th May. The news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 10. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, fresh move to impeach Justice Nagarjuna Reddy. So Justice C.V. Nagarjuna Reddy is a judge of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana High Court, and an impeachment proceeding has been initiated against him in Rajya Sabha. So judges of Supreme Court and judges of all high courts in the country, all 24 high courts of the country, all these judges can be removed only through impeachment by parliament, by central parliament. State high court judges are not under the state jurisdiction, by the parliament, means by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So this procedure has been mentioned in the constitution. So what it requires for is that the initiation should take place in one of the houses. So in this case, Rajya Sabha has taken the initiation. 60 members of Rajya Sabha have submitted this motion seeking the impeachment proceedings be initiated against Justice Nagarjuna Reddy. Earlier to such an attempt was made in December 2016. So in Rajya Sabha, at least 50 members should initiate this motion. So that time too, around 61 MPs had initiated this motion, but then later 19 signatories withdrew, because of which the impeachment proceeding then could not be initiated. But now it has been, even there, this initiation of impeachment, this motion has been accepted by the chairman of Rajya Sabha, means the Vice President of India, Mr. Hamid Ansari. So this is presently the news. The allegations against the judge, Justice Nagarjuna Reddy, is that he interfered in the judicial process in several cases. He has initiated caste slurs against various Dalits as such too. Even death threats have been given to a Dalit junior civil judge as well by him. So allegations are there. Even a story which has come forth is regarding his brother, who had put his domestic help on fire in a fit of rage, and when that person gave his dying declaration and named his brother, he threatened him to withdraw his brother's name. So such actions had been taken by him. So that is why this impeachment proceeding has been initiated. In the constitution, the grounds for impeachment are proved misbehavior or incapacity. And the procedure as mentioned here, you can see it can be initiated in either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. If initiated in Lok Sabha, at least 100 members should sign. If initiated in Rajya Sabha, at least 50 members should sign such a motion. So that is there. The house which is initiating, there will be an inquiry committee which will be set up, which will look into the case, inquire into the case and prove the charges. So proved misbehavior or incapacity. So then once proved, then the house has to pass this resolution by special majority, that is 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also it should comprise of half of the majority of the house. So this is special majority. So once passed in the one house, it goes to the other house. Even there it has to be passed by such a special majority. Only then the removal order would be provided by the president. So this is the impeachment proceeding. A number of cases of impeachment have taken place. Around 5 cases so far have taken place. The first one was in 1991, first ever impeachment attempt, but none of the attempts have been successful. If this is initiated, this would be the 5th attempt, it is said, to impeach a judge. So this first judge to face impeachment proceedings was Justice Ramaswamy. So he was the Chief Justice of Punjab High Court as such, and he had also charges against him. And this motion failed because later the Congress members withdrew as such from this motion. So this could not take place. The other judges, you can see Justice Soumitra Sen, Kolkata High Court judge, also faced impeachment proceedings but could not be completed. Even Justice V. Ramaswamy was the first one, and Justice P.D. Dinakaran is another prominent case of impeachment which was initiated. And presently this is regarding Justice Nagarjuna Reddy. Justice Dinakaran, whom we have been discussing for so long, he is facing contempt of court proceedings in the Supreme Court. There is no impeachment proceeding initiated against him. Though he himself is saying that you cannot have contempt of court proceedings, if you want, you can impeach as such. But he is going to complete his tenure too soon, in a month or so. So that is there. So this is the news. Then the next news item is Pakistan jet flies over Siachen. So we had discussed yesterday that Indian Army claimed that they had destroyed Pakistan Army camps on LOC which were supporting infiltration. So now Pakistan Air Force has also operationalized all its forward bases. A fighter jet was flown over Siachen Glacier. They have also claimed that Indian Air Force Chief had written a letter. This letter had actually been leaked into the media. So this letter was written to around 12,000 IAF officers, Indian Air Force officers, asking them to be in preparation mode, to be prepared for any incident for which their action would be required. So this has been stated as the reason why even Pakistan Air Force is also in alert mode. So now the situation is tense along the LOC. So this is there. Also, army camps have been destroyed by Pakistan too. Their claims have also been made, but Indian side says that no such action had taken place. The video which has been shown, they say that is also not true. So even Indian army had claimed and released videos. Same thing has been done by Pakistan army too, and both sides. Earlier Pakistan refused that any such incident happened, and now Indian side is also refusing, giving justifications to why this video is not correct. The next is rich get bail, poor remain in jails. So this is the statement coming from the Law Commission of India. So this 268th report of the Law Commission led by former Supreme Court Judge Justice B.S. Chauhan. This is stating that rich get bail and they are out of the prison, but poor remain in jails, suffering, serving the sentence even before the trial is completed. So a number of jail inmates are under trials. So many of them are illiterate and semi-literate, belong to socio-economically marginalized groups. So this, you can see 67% of prison population is under trials. They are awaiting trials. So this is the case. What has been recommended by the Law Commission for this matter is that if those jail inmates who have completed 1/3 of the maximum sentence for the offence which would be provided to them, provided the offence will have maximum sentence up to 7 years, for such under trials, bail should be provided. So they should not stay in jail. Also, our jails are overcrowded. So a capacity of jails is overcrowded around 116%, as it is mentioned, is the overcapacity which we have in our jails too. So they have more than they can provide for. So this is there. Plus also those prison inmates who have committed offence for which maximum sentence will be more than 7 years. For such, if they have completed half their sentence, they should also be provided bail. So less than 7, if completed 1/3 sentence, provided bail. More than 7 years imprisonment offence, if proved. This is under trial, means if not even proved. So already they have served. So then they should be provided bail. And for those who have completed the sentence, the maximum sentence which would have been conferred on them if they would have been convicted. They are still under trials, not convicted, but they have already served that sentence. Those should be remitted, means remission should be provided to them. Their sentence should be ended and they should be released. So this is the suggestion coming from the Law Commission of India now, to even reduce the burden of the jail inmates, and also these people who stay behind bars under trials, they also live with criminals there and they also become hardened criminals. So this is the Law Commission report here. You can see prison occupancy is 114%. So then the next news item is an Abe Modi plan for Africa. So this is Prime Minister of Japan, Mr. Shinzo Abe, and Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. They have given out a vision document for Asia-Africa Growth Corridor. So this has been proposed by the two countries. This was announced in November 2016. A vision document has also now come forth. The details will be released further too in September 2017. More details would come forth. So this Asia-Africa Growth Corridor is going to remain in news, so you should be aware of it. So this is countering China. So just like China's OBER project, this is a growth corridor in Africa supported by the two countries, which will be more open, more inclusive, having more people's involvement, not just based on economic concept, but not just trade economic ties to be emphasized on, but also consultation and keeping people at the center would be the emphasis. So this has been announced. So this document was presented to the African Development Bank's governors to the meeting which took place presently Gandhinagar in Gujarat. So 4 key elements of this project, they say, are enhancing capacity and skills of the people, building quality infrastructure and connecting institutions to, development and cooperation projects in even health, farming, manufacturing, disaster management, and people-to-people partnership. So this will be the emphasis of this Asia-Africa Growth Corridor endorsed by India and Japan. The next is strategic partnership model comes into force. So this we had discussed few days back, strategic partnership model. So it was expected to be formalized. So the provisions have been formalized now. Whatever has been approved by the Defence Acquisition Council has been approved even by the Cabinet. So both have cleared it. So it will be put into effect with effect from yesterday only, 24th May 2017. The next is FIPB, Cabinet Nod for phasing out FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board. So this FIPB phasing out was already announced in the budget too. So now Union Cabinet has also approved this. It's a 25-year-old body which was set up. So when you had FDI investments coming in, there were two routes, automatic route and FIPB route. So automatic route means they would be automatically approved, and FIPB route means they would come to this body. Once if there is investment of large amount or something, it would come to this body, and after that it could be approved. But now the government says that since more than 90% are going through the automatic route only, there is no need for FIPB, and it has been scrapped. So this, they say, will have more FDI being attracted to the country too. It will bring in ease of doing business and promote maximum governance, minimum government principle. So these are the justifications provided for this too. So the work which was done by FIPB earlier, that would be done by the various concerned ministries and departments in consultation with Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion under Ministry of Commerce. So this is there, you can see. So many are from automatic route, so they say there is no need for this. So it was constituted under PMO post-liberalization. So this is there. Presently it was under Department of Economic Affairs only. Then next is government orders to favor local suppliers. So the government has approved this policy of providing preference to local suppliers in government procurement. So government also, for its various departments, ministries, for its functioning, it needs to procure items. So when such tenders are also floated, there will be a provision for local suppliers. They would be preferred. So this is giving a boost to Make in India and defense. So when there is more money coming into the hands of these local suppliers, means domestic manufacturing and services sector, then they would also get a boost, invest more in get more capital, invest in technology, and they also would improve. So this is what is proposed. So local supplier would be one who is at least under goods and items, at least a minimum threshold is there, at least 50% of their, for example, is local content. So this is provided for. So purchase preference would be there, linked with local content in various government procurements. So this has been announced now. So here is the case to given that if procurement of goods is for rupees 50 lakh or less, then in such a case it can also be provided that only local suppliers will be eligible. So such conditions can also be put in. The next is GST rollout deadline will not be extended, says top official. So GST rollout deadline is 1st July and it will be stuck to. GST network, it is stated, is almost ready. So it will be ready by the deadline. And this GST network CEO is also refuting the concerns which are there with GST, because in this GST network, which is the IT infrastructure, the backbone of GST, in which all the business entities, manufacturers, service providers would have to put in all the details to have this complete value addition chain filled. So here, if any of this data input which is put in by them is leaked, then it would benefit their competitors, means it can be known what is the cost price, what margin are they keeping. So entire details would be out. So that is why this data security, this private data should remain secure, is a huge concern. This is sensitive private data. So here the GST network CEO is stating that this will remain secure. All provisions are in place. Plus even the GST network itself is a public-private public-private partnership, means it is through PPP that it has been established, means 49% is owned by government and 51% by private companies. But then the chief CEO is saying that this is good enough, because out of 49% with government to 24.5% is with center, 24.5% is with states, and in 51% with private entities too, it is divided between 5 companies as such. So the safeguard is already in place. There will be directors representing each of these, and they would all together take decisions. So there is no such threat which is there as such. So this has also been stated. Also it says that peak traffic handling capacity has also been put in effect. It has been tested as such. Then the next news item is Center may expand UDAN's wingspan. So this UDAN scheme, regional connectivity scheme, has been in news for long. You should already know about it, everything in detail. It has been provided here too. So it will provide subsidy to airlines for flying to domestic airports with limited connectivity. So those airports, so remember the term here is airports. They are trying to modify the UDAN scheme now. Such a proposal has been put into public domain for approval now. So domestic airports means underutilized, unserved or underserved airports would be provided connectivity. So for that, bidding, counter bidding had been done, airlines had been selected, and they had been provided exclusive flying rights to. for 3 years. So now government is also proposing to reduce it to 1 year as well. So that is also there. So this means exclusivity would be there for 1 year. Presently it is there for 3 years only, and any loss which they make is also subsidized by the government. So subsidy content amount will be provided for 3 years, but exclusivity will be there for only 1 year. This is the change being proposed presently. So fare cap is there, that's why subsidy would be provided. That fare cap would be there of rupees 2,500 per hour in a plane and 5,000 per hour for helicopters. So this is their Udan scheme, and this is 50% of the seats which will be capped as such at this price. So this is there. So now another change which they are making is, here they were providing concessions for unserved, underserved airports. Now they are talking of airlines, means routes. If there is any route where connectivity is not there, for example, Lucknow-Varanasi route is not provided connectivity, though Lucknow is an airport, flourishing airport, Varanasi as well, but this two connectivity is not there, then for such routes also Udan scheme can be applicable. So then it depends whether such a route is viable or not viable, whether there is a huge demand or not. So there are other concerns too. So if unserved, underserved airports were there, that was fine. Now they are talking of routes, not just airports, but the routes. So we'll see, this is the change which is being proposed under the Udan scheme. So if there are no flights on that route presently, then such would also be put under bidding, counter bidding, and subsidy would be provided for flying such routes. Also another change which is there is, presently under the Udan scheme, it is applicable for flights of 200 km to 800 km distance. But in hilly, remote, island and security sensitive regions, there is no distance limit. But in general, this is the distance limit. But now this would also change. There is also a provision that less than 150 km distance flights can also be put into under the Udan scheme, like Bangalore-Mysuru. So these will also be put under this. So we'll see how this is put into effect now. Next, last news item, Moody's downgrades China as financial power may erode. So Moody's Investor Services has downgraded China's credit rating for the first time in nearly 30 years. So this is because the financial strength of the economy of China will be eroded in the coming years, because growth is slowing down and debt burden is increasing. So these are the statements, reasons provided by Moody's too. So they have downgraded it from A3 to A1. So this is the news, the first time since 1989 that it has been downgraded. Of course, China states that it is underestimating China's economy. We have the capability to ensure that the economy sustains. So this is there. So this downgrade will have its consequences. The cost of borrowing for Chinese government will increase marginally for its state-owned enterprises as such too. They have been under the investment rating grade is only there. Even A1 is investment grade rating range. So that investments as such would not be affected, but this is a downgrade as such which is surely there. Also in March 2016, Moody's had cut its outlook. This outlook is not the rating. The outlook as such. Rating remains the same, but outlook is changing. Means we are showing a viewpoint concern. So Moody's in 2016 had cut its outlook on China's ratings to negative from stable. So it was stable for so long, but it had made it negative in March 2016. And now after a year or so, we are seeing a downgrade also coming in. And this was also reasons given the same, that debts are rising and there are uncertainties over the authorities' ability to carry out reforms. China's ability to carry out reforms. So this is credit rating. Credit rating can be for anything, any instrument as such to financial instrument, financial security, about any local government as such to, or even for a country. So this what we are talking of presently is credit rating for countries. So credit ratings are useful for foreign investors majorly, that they decide whether they want to invest in a particular country or not. So these credit rating agencies are there. There are three major credit rating agencies: Fitch, Standard & Poor's and Moody's. So they are the three major rating agencies, and their ratings which they give are different. So in different ways they provide the ratings. Presently what we were discussing is Moody's. So from here it had come to A1. That it has come from A3 to A1. So this is from here in this category. Very high grade credit, it has come to high grade credit. Last one to this one. Credit rating agencies are there in India also. Major credit rating agencies are CRISIL, ICRA and CARE. So these are three major credit rating agencies of India. So that is it. Thank you.